This is a video response to Deedra's Dee-Odor-Rant, and I was listening that what she was speaking about, and it was cool because I had some of the same realizations myself with regard to everything: deodorants, mouthwash, shampoo. um, I noticed as I interpreted it, she seemed to say that she was using a deodorant and the deodorant actually seemed to be causing an odor. Some time ago, after researching a lot of these products online and seeing what a lot of people had to say about them based on the chemicals that were in these products, and there's a whole lot of information on these products that are done by scientists that do not work for the major corporations. And a lot of what they're saying is that the chemicals in these products are actually harmful to the physical. With regard to my own experience, I had been using a mouthwash, a very popular mouthwash brand, a giant mega corporation, for many years, probably about 10 years. And I realized that I was using this mouthwash sometimes 3 or 4 times a day because I'd become addicted to actually having my mouth sanitized. And then one day I stopped. I forget why, but I just stopped and I went for a couple months without mouthwash, and my mouth just started feeling clean. Everything was actually okay. And I realized that I didn't need this mouthwash. Later I considered hand cream. I'd been using hand cream for 20 or how many years, I don't know how long. And my hands always seemed to get chapped in the wintertime. And well, I followed the same rationale based on a lot of things that I was studying, considering with regard to the things we put into our bodies and on our bodies. And so I did an experiment. I stopped using hand cream. And it took, I guess, about 5 or 6 months. And this was several years ago that I did this. But amazingly enough, I, for the last 2 or 3 years, have never used hand cream since then. And I found that I really don't need it, don't require it. My hands don't get dry at all, even in the wintertime. No chapping, even on my butt. I remember I used to get chapped, dry skin there when I sat down for so long. And now I don't have the problems. So there's one more thing I'd like to say. More recently, I noticed in the bathroom a red mold that would regularly come. And this mold would appear after I used the disinfectants on the bathroom floors. Some weeks after the disinfectants on the bathroom floors. I said, strong disinfectant, what is going on here? So I stopped using that. Red mold disappeared, and now it is, months and months before actually blackness kind of mold does start appearing, and I wash it usually with just our water, our city water, which is filled with all sorts of chemicals, I'm sure. So what I have seen, what I have noticed with me, and now I've stopped using everything. I don't even use soap except to wash the dishes, and I use the cheapest dishwashing soap I can buy by the gallons, $2, and it works fine. No, I don't even use soap in the shower anymore. Just found I haven't needed it. My considerations on this are just based on common sense, logical conclusions. In the capitalistic world, these corporations' goal is to make a profit and continue making money. So if we look at every single one of these giant corporations, including the pharmaceutical corporations, and ask ourselves if we were in that position and our only motive was to make a profit, how would we do that? we would produce products. That necessitated people to continue using those products. So, for example, in my case with hand cream, it seems that when I used the hand cream, my skin was moist, but as soon as I stopped using the hand cream, my skin would become dry and chapped. Are the companies doing this on purpose? Well, logical conclusions, common sense. Now I take the same thing up to medicines, pharmaceutical medicines, and I asked myself that question because I had the same experience. I was using a stomach acid, antacid medicine for a long, long time, and I kept thinking I needed this medicine. And I have a brother who's a doctor. He said, "Yeah, you should just take that for the rest of your life." And actually, a bunch of other things I should have taken for the rest of my life. And based on the same logical, common sense conclusions, I said, "No, I'm going to stop and see what happens." Sure enough, as soon as I stopped the antacid medicine, I stopped having stomach acid problems. I stopped having an ulcer, as a matter of fact. Or I thought I had an ulcer. So I pretty much follow the same line of thought with regards to pharmaceutical medicines and drugs. I don't take them unless I feel I'm at the point of dying, or extreme pain, and I've got to work. And I've really started doing like this for the last year or so. So I mean, the results are still coming in. But so far, I've noticed that the less medicines I take, the less I actually seem to need. And again, common sense conclusion would say that a corporation whose sole motive is to produce a profit, let's take a pharmaceutical corporation's sole motive is to produce a profit without regard for anything else. What would be the best medicine to make? The best medicine to make would be to produce a pill that offered a quick fix, got rid of the pain, got rid of the symptoms, yet somehow, let's just say, didn't cure the problem, didn't address the actual problem as to why the symptom occurred in the first place. So within that, using that logic, that saying that companies, just as they're producing products that stop working after 3 years, for example, I've noticed with monitors, I get 3 years out of a monitor and that's it. Other products, vacuum cleaner, I get 8 years out of it, and I see it in the product that this product just was designed to stop working, one little piece or two little pieces. So with medicine, I'm very, very cautious about taking medicine that that may offer, as I see it, a quick fix, but doesn't address the issue. So if the sickness is within me, it's of me. It's my sickness. I created it. I should be able to stop it. So obviously, I'm not telling people to stop taking medicines. Not on the internet. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, I think before people just accept these handouts that doctors give them, they really should look at the motives of corporations that are producing the medicines. And I'll leave it there. I have, and so far so good. No soap anymore, except for washing the dishes. Definitely no deodorant, and I experienced the same thing with deodorant. I had to continuously use it and use it and use it. under my arms. I noticed I'd get swollen, like almost pimples, like where the body was not able to release naturally. So, yeah, no deodorant, no mouthwash, obviously no shampoo, no soaps, no more disinfectants on the floor, pretty much. And I'm going to continue going with this way, step by step. I'm kind of eliminating the perceived need for products that I grew up thinking that I had to have. I remember asking my mother for fluoride pills when I was a little kid. So that's what I wanted to say, based on talk about products that are out these days. Consider why we actually use them. Is it because we need them, or because somehow, somewhere along the line, someone told us we needed them, we started using them, and our bodies became addicted to them? In other words, if we're constantly putting cream on our hands, oil on our hands, our body's just going to say, okay, well, to maintain a balance there, we don't need to, it doesn't need to be producing that oil. Let's stop for 6 months or so, and the body, physical, will start up again. Okay, so 100 years ago, we didn't have these products. It's a perceived need. It's not a real need.